What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope you're all doing fine. And today I'm gonna announce that today will be the final story of that whole 100 stories selection. I read it for hundreds of days, and yeah, today is the final story. And I'm gonna switch to a new book. I'm not gonna announce it right now, but yeah, we'll figure out. So let's do the final story. All right, it's called The Dream. Okay. This was the last work of O. Henry. Interesting. The Cosmopolitan magazine had ordered it from him, and after his death, the unfinished manuscript was found in his room on his dusty desk. All right. Murray dreamed a dream. Both psychology and science grope when they would explain to us the strange adventures of our immaterial selves. When wandering in the realm of death's twin brother, sleep. This story will not attempt to be illuminative. Illuminative. It is no more than a record of Murray's dream. One of the most puzzling phases of that strange waking sleep is that dreams, which seems to cover months or even years, may take place within a few seconds or minutes. Murray was waiting in his cell in the ward of the condemned. Of the condemned. Condemned. An electric arc light in the ceiling of the corridor shone brightly upon his table. On a sheet of white paper, and an ant crawled wildly here and there as Murray blocked its way with an envelope. The electrocution was set for 8 o'clock in the evening. Murray smiled at the antics of the wisest of insects. There were 7 other condemned men in the chamber. Since he had been there, Murray had seen 3 taken out to their fate. One gone mad and fighting like a wolf caught in a trap. One, no less mad, offered up a sanctimonious lip service to heaven. The third, a weakling, collapsed and strapped to a board. He wondered with what credit to himself his own heart, foot, and face would meet his punishment, for this was his evening. He thought it must be nearly 8 o'clock. Opposite his own, in the 2 rows of cells, was the cage of Bonifacio, the Sicilian slayer of his betrothed, and 2 officers who came to arrest him. With him, Murray had played checkers many a long hour, each calling him his move to his unseen opponent across the corridor. Bonifacio's great booming voice, with its indestructible signing quality, called out, "Eh, Mr. Murray, how you feel? All right, yes? All right, Bonifacio," said Murray steadily, as he allowed the ant to crawl upon the envelope and then dumped it gently on the on the stone floor. That's good. That's good, Mr. Murray. Men like us, we must die like a man. My time come next week. All right, remember, Mr. Murray. I bet, I bet, I bet you that last game of the check. Maybe we play again some time. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we have to call it demo damn allowed to play the checks where they go inside us. Bonifacius hardened philosophy followed closely, but his deafening musical peal of laughter warmed rather than chilled Murray's numb heart. Yet Bonifacio had until next week to leave. The self duelers heard the familiar loud click of the steel bolts at the door at the end of the corridor was open. 3 men came to Murray's cell and unlocked it. 2 were prison guards. The other was Len. No, that was in the old days. Now the Reverend Leonard Winston, a friend and neighbor from their barefoot days. I got them to let me take the prison chaplain's place, he said as he gave Murray's hand one short, strong grip. In his left hand, he held a small Bible, with his forefinger marking a page. Murray smiled slightly and arranged 2 or 3 books and some pen holders orderly on his small table. He would have spoken, but no appropriate words seemed to present themselves to his mind. The prisoners had christened his cell house 80 feet long, 28 feet wide, Limbo Lane. The regular guard of Limbo Lane, an immense, raw, kindly man, drew a pint bottle of whiskey from his pocket and offered it to Murray, saying, "It's the regular thing, you know. All has it who feel like they need a bracer. No danger of it becoming a habit with them, you see." Murray drank deep into the bottle. "That's the boy," said the guard. "Just a little nerve tonic and everything goes smooth as silk." They stepped into the corridor and each one of the doomed 7 knew. Limbo Lane is a world on the outside of the world, but it had learned when deprived of one or more of the 5 senses to make another sense supply the deficiency. Each one knew that it was nearly 8 and that Murray was to go to the chair at 8. There is also in the many Limbo Lanes an aristocracy of crime. The man who kills in the open, the man who kills in the open, who beats his enemy or pursuer down, flushed by the primitive emotions and the ardor of combat, holds in contempt the human rat, the spider, and the snake. So, of the 7 condemned, only 3 called their farewells to Murray as he marched down the corridor between 2 guards, Bonifacio, Marvin, who had killed a guard while trying to escape from the prison, and Bassett, the train robber who was driven to it because the express manager wouldn't raise his hands when ordered to do so. The remaining 4 smoldered silent in their cells, no doubt feeling their social ostracism in Limberlane society more keenly than they did in the memory of their less picturesque offenses against the law. Murray wondered at his own calmness and nearly indifference. In the execution room were about 20 men, a congregation made up of prison officers, newspaper reporters, and lookers-on who had succeeded. Here, in the very middle of his sentence, the hand of death interrupted the telling of O. Henry's last story. Interesting. Here, in the very middle of the sentence, the hand of death interrupted the telling of O. Henry's last story. He had planned to make this story different from his others. The beginning of a new series in a style he had not previously attempted. I want to show the public, he said, that I can write something new for me. I mean, a story without slang, a straightforward dramatic plot, treated in a way that will come nearer my idea of real story writing. Before starting to write the present story, he outlined briefly how he intended to develop it. Murray, the criminal accused and convicted of the brutal murder of his sweetheart, a murder prompted by jealous rage, at first faces the death penalty, calm and, to all outward appearances, indifferent to his fate. As he nears the electric chair, he is overcome by a revulsion of feeling. He is left dazed, stupefied, stunned. The entire scene in the death chamber, the witnesses, the spectators, the preparations for execution become unreal to him. The thought flashes through his brain, and a terrible mistake is being made. Why is he being strapped to the chair? What has he done? What crime has he committed? In the few moments while the straps are being adjusted, the vision comes to him. He dreams a dream. He sees a little country cottage, bright, sunlit, nestling, nestling in a bower of flowers. A woman in there and a little child. He speaks with them and finds that they are his wife, his child, and the cottage their home. So after all, it is a mistake. Someone has frightfully irretrievably blundered. The accusation, the trial, the conviction, the sentence to death in the electric chair, all a dream. He takes his wife and in his arms and kisses the child. Yes, here's happiness. It was a dream. Then, at a sight from the prison warden, the fatal current is turned on. Murray had dreamed the wrong dream. Wow. Alright guys. So it's done with this book. That's a big book. And we're gonna continue with something else tomorrow. Let me figure out. Thank you for joining me today and see you tomorrow with the next book and the next story. See you. Bye.